Welcome back here on the Senior Network. We are now joined by Tatiana Zanzig, Pruitt Home Health. How are you, Tatiana?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Great to see you. You had mentioned earlier, and I think I got this right. You said September, is it World Alzheimer's Month? Is that what you said?
That's right. And also Healthy Aging Month.
Great.
And I think that's very relevant with, the industry that I'm in, home health, because our goal is to keep our patients as independent as possible, however that may look based on their wants and needs.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit, when you're dealing with we deal with a lot of dementia patients, I'm sure, and Alzheimer's is very prominent. What type of maybe specialized care and observation would Pruitt Home Health do in that situation?
Well, you're absolutely right. It is, very relevant in that millions of Americans are diagnosed with Alzheimer's every year in the U.S.
Right.
And, for us, what that looks like is our clinicians get extra training on how to care for the geriatric population. And it's something that they're very familiar with. They kind of are familiar with the struggles that the families go through in dealing with new diagnoses or a progression in disease or, a significant life event or, issue, injury, surgery, anything that can kind of trigger, like a downward spiral. It can be very scary. So our clinicians are really good about kind of understanding what to expect and helping families better understand what to expect.
Yeah. And for the viewers that may not know, Pruitt Home Health obviously has a lot of different services that you provide. And in a situation like that, are you able to maybe help families outside of your realm of services, like memory care, things like that, to facilitate and help them, point them in the right direction for more help?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, all of our clinicians are really good at identifying needs, even if it's beyond their scope. They're good at recognizing, and pulling in different community resources and making sure that all needs are met, looking at a patient holistically. I will say speech therapy has been very useful for us in coming in, especially in the earlier stages, and kind of identifying, doing like a cognitive evaluation and identifying different areas that we can kind of work on and working with patients so that they can, try to remain as independent as possible and, and like I said, loop in other members of the community, other organizations that might be helpful to that patient.
Great. And for some of the viewers that may not realize, obviously Pruitt Home Health in this community, you work a lot with seniors. And I think one of the biggest advantages of home health outside of the great service is Medicare covers the cost, basically, right?
Absolutely. Medicare does cover, home health as long as we are following all the rules and regulations they put in place. But we're very familiar with that, so we know what we're allowed and not allowed to do. And we feel that home health is a great benefit to a patient, especially if they're coming out of a rehab or a hospital or a skilled nursing facility, or if there's just been a change or a decline in any way, a cognitive decline especially. Getting an extra set of eyes and ears in the home, it can be extremely beneficial. And like you said, Medicare covers it.
Yeah.
So.
And for, say you mentioned a patient coming out of rehab or a hospital, tell our viewers a little bit, what does that look like? How does that service start with you once they get home?
So typically, a lot of times, I really try to meet with patients and families before they even discharge from the facility. It doesn't always happen, especially with COVID and everything. That's kind of shaken things up a little bit. But a lot of times, I'll either meet face-to-face or we'll talk over the phone, kind of discuss what to expect. And then, the facility and the providers will give us all the information that we need on our end. To make sure that the nurses, the therapists, that they're all doing, things that are going to be beneficial to the patient, but also what the doctor kind of wants. And, a lot of times patients can expect visits, a few days a week. It really just depends on an individual's needs.
Great. Awesome information, Tatiana. I always appreciate it. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Please stay with us. More to come here on the Senior Network.